Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Sports and Other Things. I'm your co-host Gabe. With me we have Troy, co-host as always. And then we have our second guest of the pod, Ashley. Ashley, how does it feel to be the second guest of the pod? Not first, but pretty close.
I'm not surprised that I'm the second, but I'm honored to be here.
Well, we appreciate it.
And I'm back.
After a week hiatus. Troy
I didn't want to talk about the Cowboys, I guess.
Yeah. So, Ashley, we brought you in today because obviously you went to the University of Oklahoma. You're a big OU football fan. That's what we're talking about this week. We wanted to go over every game this upcoming season as well as the key players on the team, and we thought it'd be perfect to have you along. So, with that said, we can go ahead and get started. So, week 1, they're playing Houston. It's coming up this Sunday.
Boomer.
Yeah, exactly. You know, Houston was 8-5 last season, pretty good team. I don't know how to feel about this game. You know, Dana Holgerson's the new head coach there. It's kind of interesting, to be honest. I don't know how to. They lost to him a couple years ago, but that was Tom Herman. You know, I don't really know. Houston's a good program. What do you think?
So I believe we're favored by 23.5.
23. Wow. Okay.
Which is, to me, BS. There's no way. There's no way.
Houston's a good team.
Yeah.
This 23.5. That's a lot.
Yeah, I think that's way too giving.
Well, the year we lost, I'm pretty sure that OU was favored by a good amount.
Yeah, we were favored by a lot, and we lost by.
I don't think it was quite 23.5.
When we lose by 10, something like that.
Yeah.
It was 2 scores for sure.
And it was a good football game. Like, I think at that point Houston was underrated.
I think so.
As the season went on, you saw them. I'm pretty sure they got top 25 and were ranked for a little while. But I think that Houston's going to have a pretty decent football team. They might not be like the team that they had last year, the year before, but they'll give them a fight.
Yeah, Houston's one of those teams where I think their program overall is always a solid program. They might not be in a Power 5 conference, but you can't ever underestimate them. You know, they get some of the biggest high school recruits being down there in Houston. They steal a lot of recruits from Texas University, a lot of recruits from Texas Tech, a lot from OU as well. Just being in that Houston area, a lot of kids don't want to leave Houston, and they can actually just go to school there. And so, you know, I think OU will beat them, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot, especially if OU's defense isn't much improved. So
Should be an interesting game, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to definitely be. If OU's offense comes out and balls out, I mean, OU's going to win. But if not, I mean, their defense is going to win them games.
I think it'll be a good first test.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm glad that their non-conference is challenging, but not like they're not playing Ohio State, Alabama. They're not playing a big dog team. But and then we'll go right into their second game. They're playing South Dakota. That's going to be a slaughter, in my opinion. I mean, South Dakota went 10-3. It's a good record, but they're in the FCS. They don't play, they don't play the same level of coverage. They do play North Dakota State. I will give them that, but North Dakota State is still probably.
I bet North Dakota State would give OU a run for the money.
I mean, they're great. They're great. They've always been a great team, especially in the last decade. But like, you put them in the FBS, they'd probably be like 18 through 20-ish range. I think. I don't know.
I think it'd be pretty interesting to see them play like Ohio State, OU.
Well, they played they played K-State. Did they play K-State a couple years ago?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And I think K-State lost.
Yeah, K-State lost.
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State is their head coach is K-State's new head coach.
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
See, okay, so after last week's episode, when I found out that Bill Snyder was no longer the head coach there...
Yeah. North Dakota State, Chris Kleiman.
Okay, well, so here's the thing. This is the second week in a row that I've gotten trumped on some Kansas State information.
Yeah.
Because I either forgot that Bill Snyder was no longer the head coach, or I had just not heard it.
Yeah.
Period. Because I was talking, I was like, I don't know how to feel
North Dakota State did win that game, though.
Thank you, Troy.
24-21.
Well, anyway, so once again, I sound dumb, not knowing anything about K-State's football program.
You need to brush up on your Big 12 knowledge.
Apparently.
I mean, a couple years ago, I went to OSU Kansas State game, and I was like, it'll be a good game to watch OSU beat Kansas State, and Kansas State beat them bad.
Yeah, because so once again, K-State. I'm screwing up. So, anyway, OU's playing South Dakota. They went 10-3 last season. I think they're a solid team, but I just don't like.
I bet OU's going to beat them pretty good.
I mean, yeah, they may have a lot of good recruits, but like, who is a great football player in the state of South Dakota? Being compared to the recruits that OU gets in Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, it's just not the same. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure Wentz is from North Dakota.
wait a second. Did you say Carson Wentz or Winston? I heard Winston.
Carson Wentz.
Oh yeah, he's definitely from North Dakota. He's great. Okay.
James Winston, I'm pretty sure, is from Florida.
He might be. I mean, honestly, I was confused when you said I heard Winston. So did you hear Winston?
I kind of heard Winston.
Okay, so I'm glad I'm not alone. But I was legitimately confused. I'm like, okay, but Troy knows his stuff. Jameis Winston, if he says Jameis Winston's from North Dakota, Jameis Winston's from North Dakota.
All right. James Winston, born in Alabama, graduated high school in Alabama.
Okay.
Not North Dakota.
I get it. Okay, that's fine. Carson Wentz, however, is phenomenal. Okay? He's done a lot in the NFL. I just legitimately heard Winston.
If Carson Wentz wouldn't get hurt, he would be...
Yeah, he'd be great.
He'd probably be the best younger quarterback. Because, I mean, nobody's going to really say he's better than some of the older guys right now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's one of the only great athletes that come out of North Dakota and South Dakota for football, honestly. And I don't mean to trash South Dakota State.
They
or South
had a
Dakota.
couple good linemen there for a couple years.
Yeah, but what I mean is in the overall, like, South Dakota's a great football program. You know, they went 10-3. It's
Okay, he was born in North Carolina. He graduated from North Dakota.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now it's resolved. Carson Wentz went to high school in North Dakota. Do you guys have a prediction for this OU South Dakota game? Because I don't even like.
Beat him by 40.
I don't know if I can beat him by 40, but I just like I don't even these kind of games.
60-20.
I mean, sure. These kind of games just throw me off. Like
I mean, OSU lost their undefeated season a couple years ago to a school that wasn't really known. So you never know.
Well, and the thing is, like, OU, like, in years past, they've had this amazing offense, but then they don't exactly.
They have good players on defense, but they don't have a good defensive
Well,
scheme.
and like there's some teams that are the level of South Dakota, and they don't exactly just demolish them like they should. Like last year at Fort Atlantic, they killed the crap out of Fort Atlantic.
Yeah.
They killed UCLA. But like in years prior to that, they've just kind of been average against those teams. And it's weird because you would think they would just demolish them.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good transition in between Houston and then South Dakota and then playing UCLA.
I think.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a great transition game. It could potentially be like when Texas played Maryland.
Twice.
Yeah.
Which was a joke in itself. So
Yeah, for real.
I think that like what you just said about a couple years ago, like we would play with teams and stuff, and I think that having the quarterbacks we've had the last couple of years, obviously 2 Heisman winners, but having Baker Mayfield and having his mentality, and then having Kyler Murray and having his mentality, and now we have Jalen Hurts. I mean, I think those are 3 winning quarterbacks.
Yep.
Those are 3 guys that are like, I don't care who's on the other side of the field. We're gonna go play our game.
Right.
So I think that they're just going to go out there, put the foot down on the pedal, and go beat South Dakota by 40.
I mean, 40 sounds pretty good to me.
If they don't beat them by 40 in here in a couple, you can guys shave my head.
Okay, once again, for everybody who doesn't know, his head is already shaved. It doesn't, like, he said that twice now. It doesn't mean anything.
It's a running joke. Come on.
Okay. So then they follow that up with they're playing at UCLA, which, UCLA, they went 3-9 last year, but the majority of their team was freshmen. I think a lot of their players are going to be a lot better. I don't think they're going to kill them like they killed them last year, but I still think they're going to beat UCLA pretty good. Chip Kelly went 3-9 his first season. They'll probably have a better season, but I can't imagine OU getting, having a close game against UCLA. There's still a lot of young players on that team.
would you say that you think that OU will beat UCLA worse than they'll beat South Dakota State?
No, they're going to beat South Dakota worse than UCLA.
So UCLA lost today, 24-14 to Cincinnati. Now, which Cincinnati is normally a decent football team.
Yeah, 24-14.
Yep.
I mean, that's not terrible. And I think I saw a poll like 70 or 75% of their main starters were freshmen last year, and so I don't know if that number's correct, but I just remember seeing that, and so it's like I remember seeing that last season. So now it's like a lot of those guys are sophomores. A lot of those guys got playing time. They may be better, but like I just can't see.
I think 2 years, 3 years in Chip Kelly's scheme, you're going to figure things out. So I think some of these guys will flourish this year because they're going to be in their second year. Chip Kelly. I mean, Chip Kelly's got a kind of a crazy offense. So
Yeah. Well, that moves us right along to they're playing Texas Tech at Norman. So once again, Texas Tech is one of those teams. I said it last week. I'll say it again. I don't know how to feel about Texas Tech. Cliff Kingsbury is no longer the head coach there. Apparently I keep up with my Texas Tech knowledge, not my K-State knowledge. So I know that he's not
Texas
there.
Tech's a little more high profile
Right.
than Kansas State.
So I know that Cliff Kingsbury, he's no longer there. They went 5-7 last season, but it's not really. You can't judge that 5-7 record because they play all the teams in Big 12, and they just Big 12, other than maybe OU in Texas, everyone beat each other up. So like that 5-7 record is a little misleading. I think they got better players and more talent than that record, but like they're still got to play all the same teams again. So I just don't. I don't know how to feel.
What's
about
scary about Texas Tech is like the last 20 years, like 30 years, we've always known Texas Tech has this like amazing offense. Because like if you go look at record books, like Texas Tech quarterbacks are all over that thing, and you always talk about all their recruits, offensive players, defensive players are just putting shirts on people out there. Well, now they're starting to recruit some defensive players, and there's some guys that are pretty decent on their defensive side. So if they can keep the ball from getting in the end zone a couple times throughout the game and keep scoring touchdowns, I mean they're going to win the games. And that 5-7 record could easily go 9-5.
I mean,
9-3.
like I know they had a few close games last year. They could easily have been 7-5, 8-4. I mean, it's just.
Well, so they have Alan Bowman as their quarterback, and his lungs have collapsed twice over training. And so I think if he can stay healthy, I think they'll be a good team. I think unhealthy, Alan Bowman, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. They might have like another Baker Mayfield or
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes or Davis Webb, but they might just have another one of them just sitting around.
Well, but see, what I don't understand is like I just don't like Cliff Kingsbury had this great offensive system, and I can't imagine that with him being gone, their offense was going to change that much.
They're going to be a running team now.
Yeah, there's going to be a complete. I just can't imagine.
Power run.
I just can't imagine them doing that. But I don't know what to expect because they don't have Kingsbury. So, I think OU's going to win that game as well. That one may be a little closer than the previous games, but I still think they're going to win that one.
Where do you have Tech ranked in Big 12?
Big 12. Okay, so
Not top 4.
Absolutely not.
No,
I probably wouldn't say.
I have 7.
I have them bottom 5 for sure. I'd probably say 6, 7, somewhere around there.
They're my 7.
Maybe 8. I mean, that's good. I kind of wish I had thought about that. We could have done a Big 12 ranking. That's a good idea.
I got mine.
You have yours right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I know OU's 1 for you.
Absolutely.
Texas is 2.
Yep.
You probably have Iowa State 3.
Yep.
Let's see here. TCU 4.
Nope.
West Virginia 4?
No.
You have OSU 4?
Absolutely OSU 4.
Okay, all right.
Drew Hubbard? Are you kidding me?
Okay, that's true. All right, that's fair.
What, that new guy, Tylen Wallace? Supposed to be good?
Yep, Tylen Wallace is supposed to be good.
New guy.
Not new, but
He's not new.
he's supposed to be, they're hyping him up right now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to me,
No,
he's kind of new.
He's good. Okay, so you
Okay, he went out for like 1,400 yards, 1,500 yards last year.
Yeah,
okay, so you got OSU 4. I'd agree with that. You got.
Here, I'll give you a big shocker. Kansas last.
But
No, not Kansas
she doesn't
last.
have Kansas last.
Kansas State last.
Kansas State last.
No.
Okay.
Kansas last.
So
No,
you're
Kansas State.
number 5. You got West Virginia or Tech or TCU.
TCU.
TCU West Virginia 6.
Nope. Baylor.
Oh,
Above West
I
Virginia.
forgot about Baylor. So Baylor, Texas Tech, West Virginia, Kansas State.
Mhm.
Okay. I don't agree with that 100%, but that's pretty close.
Okay.
That's
What do
fine.
you not agree with?
I think West Virginia would be higher than probably Tech.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? They got Austin Kendall at quarterback.
Austin Kendall is so inconsistent.
He might be inconsistent, but he's still a good quarterback.
He's inconsistent.
Really? Because he didn't have that much playing time on the field to show it.
I don't think he's gonna.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't think he's gonna.
We will get there in a couple games. Okay, so we finished the second.
I think West Virginia's got a pretty good team, and I think that they're going to be better than Baylor.
Why don't we wait 1, 2, 3 weeks and then we'll cover West Virginia?
All right, whatever.
So then they play at Kansas. Here's my only feeling about Kansas. They went 3-9 last year, which was an amazing season compared to the previous seasons. And they got Les Miles, so I think Les Miles will make a difference, but I still don't think they're going to...
Okay, so the thing is, they have Les Miles this year, but Les Miles doesn't have Les Miles recruits. Les Miles has previous years.
I guarantee you that Les Miles coming in there, he was able to take some of the good recruits that Kansas State would normally get. Yeah. And they may be freshmen, but here's the thing. I don't imagine them winning more than 4 games. But you know what? 4-8 for a Kansas team that's been atrocious for the last... probably going on 10 years now?
Yeah, 1 good year.
Huh?
They had 1 good year.
In the middle of your
They
year.
won 6 games once.
Well, anyway, so it's like, I feel like Les Miles can have an improvement on them, but I have them, I would still put them at the bottom of the Big 12, but like...
Nope. Kansas State.
But Kansas State still gets good recruits.
No.
Okay.
They're losing all their good guys.
Apparently they lost their best one, Bill Snyder, that I didn't know until last week.
They got a new coach.
So,
who supposedly thinks he's going to do well.
He's a good coach, though.
All I have to say about Kansas football is I'm going to quote Baker Mayfield, go play basketball.
Yeah.
You got to grab your junk while you're saying it?
Go play basketball.
Oh, man. All right. And then here's the big one. Probably the most important game of the season. OSU fans will beg to differ, but I don't. We're playing in Dallas like we always do against Texas, but we're the away team this year. Guys, I'm legitimately worried. Texas is good.
Sam Ehlinger, quarterback-wise, is better than Jalen Hurts. Winning-wise, Jalen Hurts is better.
Okay, I think Ashley and I are not. I don't think we agree with that.
It was painful to hear.
Yeah.
I think that I hope you're wrong. But I do see. I do see.
I can understand it.
I do see it.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm not saying that as a like. I always want Texas to be good. I want them to lose to OU,
Right.
but I always want them to be good. I want OSU to be good. I want Baylor, TCU, and I want West Virginia to be good. I don't care about the Kansas schools, but like I think that Sam Ehlinger has like that it factor with Texas. I think that he's gonna be a good quarterback for him. I think Jalen Hurts is like a Tim Tebow type. Has a little better arm, but he's a winning type player. So he's the better winning quarterback, but he's not the better quarterback.
I just commend Sam for playing against Baker, Kyler, and now Jalen.
Yeah, I just commend him for having to play for such a horrible school. The Texas Longhorns. So they went 10-4 last season. And they got another year under Tom Herman. They're coming off of a pretty I wouldn't say like destructive win, but they put it to Georgia really good.
Yeah.
And I struggle internally to root for Texas, but in that game after OU had lost, I was like, okay, the Big 12 needs this. Yeah. Go beat Georgia. And you know what? They beat Georgia, and I'm like, that's amazing. So they're coming off of that. They're coming off beating OU in the regular season. Yeah, they lost to them in the championship game, but they still beat them. They still beat them. So to me, it's like they could go 10-4 again. They could finish 12-2, 11-1. They're not going to go undefeated. I think one of the Big 12 teams. There's too many good, decent Big 12 teams to not.
I'm looking at the schedule right now. They're going to play LSU week 2. That could be
That's a big game too.
That's a big game.
That's a huge game because LSU is always a traditionally good team.
And they traditionally a good defensive team.
Yes, exactly.
Louisiana Tech week 1. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. LSU, Rice, and then they play OSU, West Virginia, OU.
That's a pretty good first 3 weeks conference.
Yeah.
I mean, going from LSU to Rice. Rice is good at baseball and good at a couple other sports, but they're not good at football. Then going OSU, West Virginia, OU. I mean, that's rough.
Yeah, that's a good start to the conference.
And then they go
schedule.
Kansas.
Hey, Can't you never know?
But
man.
they finished
They're
the
my
season.
number
They
9.
finished the season out. Iowa State, Baylor, Texas Tech. I mean, that's another
Yeah.
3 stretch of.
But like Texas could lose to Kansas, guys. Like they lost them a couple years ago. I'm just saying.
They're not the same team.
Neither team is the same team.
Ellinger was a freshman. I'm pretty sure last time they lost to him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so earlier when I was talking about Ellinger, you made a face. Explain your face, because like I think the listeners want.
I already said it. Like it has nothing to do with him as a person. It has to do with
If he played for OU, how would you talk about him?
He's a good quarterback, and legitimately, I know he's a good quarterback. And the problem is, he plays for Texas, and so
That's your only argument. You literally argue.
No. I'm saying that worries me because he is a good quarterback. He's not the best, and he's definitely not the worst. He's a good quarterback, and he can lead a team, and so that legitimately worries me.
Worries you for OU?
For OU, anybody that plays Texas can lose because he is a good quarterback and knows how to run the offense.
That's what I said. You give me this look.
I gave you the look because one, he worries me, and two, I don't like him.
Yeah.
I just don't like him.
I think he's really passionate.
He's
which
very passionate.
Okay,
I
think
love.
about it as a Texas fan, how they felt about Baker.
I understand.
Yeah,
And you know what?
1,000%.
And you know what?
Yeah.
They probably feel the exact same way, and each to their own.
Right. But
I think Sam Ellinger is a poor man's Baker Mayfield.
Oh, okay.
Poor
I-
man's
okay,
I'm glad
Baker
I was-
Mayfield.
I paused.
They
I was
both
like
started
the
having
great
hard of-
value version
Maybe-
of Baker Mayfield.
I would say
He's the best choice. Maybe the always safe version of
Yeah,
Baker.
I mean, like,
Great value version.
I think that he could ball out this year, but both of them looked at me like I just like said that like.
I literally thought you were about to say he's Baker.
No.
And I was like,
No.
that's what I thought you were about to say, and I was about to.
I think that if he had a team built around him, like an offense built around him a little bit better, it might be a different conversation. But like he's been playing with some receivers that aren't that good. Like he made that little Harry or little whatever his name was last year.
I don't know any player's name.
He
on
went like the
Texas.
6th round. He was like 6'5", 6'6". He made that dude look like when I watched the game. I watched one game of them playing. I was like, this dude looks like he's going first, second round. Ended up watching him more, and I was like, oh, this dude sucks. But like he put it in the spot, and the dude just jumped, and he was like perfect. Like Sam Ellinger, if he was in a different system, we'd be talking about him probably Heisman. And he's going to be in the Heisman
He's
conversation.
already gotten Heisman hype.
He's going to be in
yeah.
it, but he won't be in the top 3.
I can't.
Unless he has some guy that...
Texas would have to go, if they have one, maybe even 2 losses max, he might finish top.
If he finds a playmaker, if he finds a Hollywood Brown or
Yeah.
a CeeDee Lamb or the multiple running backs that OU had when Baker was there...
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Texas isn't going to find that right now. But if they just find somebody that he can like throw to, I mean, we could be talking about him in the top 3. But I don't think it's going to happen.
I also just he must be feel.
Is there another Shipley brother we can throw out there?
Wow, right?
He must feel like really uncomfortable when Tom Herman kisses him, man.
Yeah.
Have you seen that? That's the weirdest thing ever. I was talking about it last week with Connor. Man, I just can't get behind that. This
But
is so unusual.
I mean, he did say we're back.
He sure did. And
He
the
did
only thing
say.
I can't get behind was when he made a big old fit about the horns down thing.
Well, and here's the deal. It's like, oh, we're a classy organization. I'm like, you were about to fight Mike Gundy on the field.
Yeah.
That's where I pull back on
You were
Sam.
making fun of, who was he? The West Virginia quarterback?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Will
what
Greer?
you're
Yeah,
talking
he was
about.
making fun of Will Greer. He's putting the little hands on
Yeah.
his chest and doing the thing because that's what Will Greer did. And he's making it's like, oh, you're a classy school. Really? I have at least 2 things that say you are not.
Yeah, we can't really talk about classy though.
I'm not saying. See, here's the thing though. Lincoln Riley and Baker didn't come out and say, yeah, we're classy. Didn't say.
No. Baker's like, this is me.
Yeah.
He's like, screw you, Kansas.
I mean, Baker came out and apologized for. I'm pretty sure he apologized for planting the flag, and then they asked him when he's in the NFL.
He's like, "Ah, I don't-"
Were you really sorry for that? He goes, absolutely not.
Now that he has all the Ohio State fans following him for the Browns, he's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, all Ohio State fans are like, we hate Baker. Cleveland Browns select Baker Mayfield. We love him. We love him.
Okay, so what's your guys' predictions on that OU Texas game?
I bet it'll be close. A field goal or touchdown. I bet OU wins.
Ashley's over here. She's worried.
I'm worried it's going to be an upset for sure.
But see, the thing is, if they
I don't
lost to Texas,
think so.
it wouldn't even be considered an upset. Because at that
the
point,
definition of an upset.
okay, an upset would be a high-ranked team losing to a low-ranked team or a non-ranked team.
Okay.
If you're ranked in the top 25, like I don't. Maybe if it's like the 25 team against the number 1 team, that might be an upset. But if you're ranked like OU's 4, Texas is like 10. That's not really an upset.
That's not an upset. And plus, if they continue winning, I'm assuming one of those top 10 teams may lose a game. So Texas could go up, or if they perform well, or if OU keeps winning.
I mean, yeah, it's going to change.
It would only be an upset if Texas loses like their first 5 games and they're 0-5 and then beat OU. That would be an upset, which would be a little like hilarious from where the hype that Texas has got coming into this season, starting 0-5.
I don't think. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. There's no way.
There's no way.
No.
They played Rice. Like if they lost to Rice, that'd be almost as bad as losing to Kansas.
They're gonna have a challenge against Louisiana State, but they're gonna beat them.
Yeah. Well, they also play Louisiana Tech, who's not an atrocious team.
No, they're not bad, but they're nothing like special.
Yeah.
And then they play OSU right before, right?
Yeah.
I mean, OSU will give them fits, but OSU I don't think's super special. But
so I think that they'll beat Texas, but like I'm not gonna be surprised if they lose to them. It's just one of those games like I can't. Like Texas has literally had bad records and still beat OU.
Well, it's just
But it's such a big rivalry game. It's like it doesn't matter.
OU OSU. I mean, same thing. Go ahead, Ashley. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say anything can happen.
Well, yeah, like OU OSU Bedlam Red River rivalry. I mean, it's just like I've seen. Like every time OSU has a really good season, and OU's like, we'll only win 7 or 8 games. We're gonna beat OSU, and same thing. OU's like going to the national championship, and OSU's like, you thought.
Well, last year we almost lost to OSU.
Yeah.
I think it was maybe like.
It was a shootout.
Yeah, like.
Yep.
It
was.
Horrible.
All right, so moving on, they play West Virginia in Norman. West Virginia went 8-4 last season. It's
Lost
another
their coach.
Yep.
Lost their quarterback.
They lost their head coach.
2
They lost
wide
their quarterback.
receivers.
They lost.
2 big players on the defense.
They lost a lot. So
That's why I'm saying
Dana
that they're going
Holgerson.
to be 8.
Dana Holgerson going to Houston is a big deal. They lost Will Greer. They did get Austin Kendall, which I found out that Ashley's not a big fan of. That's fine. I still think he is a good quarterback.
I don't think he has enough proven record.
No, right. He's not like a perfect quarterback. Like obviously Will Greer, I would say, unless Austin Kendall just shows out, I think Will Greer is probably a better quarterback than him. But
there's no probably about it.
I'm saying if Austin Kendall comes into the season and just wrecks, like just starts
with a broken team, though. That's what I'm saying.
It's true.
The team is broken. He's inconsistent. Put 2 and 2 together.
That head coach didn't leave for nothing.
But I find it funny that Austin was like, yeah, I'll go to West Virginia. And then Dana Holgerson's like, bye.
All right, so I think they're going to beat him by 20. Let's go. Let's move on.
Well, West Virginia went 8-4. I'm predicting they're going to go about 6-6.
Yeah, that's
maybe
about
5-7.
That's about correct.
So then they play at Kansas State. I can't say anything about this game because I don't know anything about their team apparently.
Yeah, apparently not. So they have a new coach.
Which I knew they had a new coach after last week. I did not know it was the North Dakota State coach.
Yep.
I assumed it was like his son or something. Didn't fact check. Apparently I need to start fact checking everything before I open my mouth.
I think the North Dakota State coach did really well at North Dakota State, obviously. And I think that he'll come into Kansas State and I don't think he's going to turn that program around. But if he gets that team to start winning again and look good for a couple years, he'll move up to a bigger school, and then he'll move up to a bigger school. Like if you look at Urban Meyer was at Utah, turned that program around, and he got the Florida job. I mean, it's probably going to be something like this. Like he's looking at Kansas State like, I'm getting out of the FCS, FBS. And then I'm going to transition from a lower level team to a higher level.
I think that's kind of like what Les Miles is doing. Like, he was at this big illustrious program of LSU, and then, actually he started at OSU, and then he went to LSU after Nick Saban left, and then took a year off, and he goes to Kansas, and it's like, if he can have Kansas have a 6-6 season, and have them do that for a couple of years, I don't think he's going to be there long term. I think he's going to move on to some bigger school because they're like, hey, if he can turn Kansas around, imagine what he can do with a team who actually gets recruits. And I know that the recruiting will pick up now that you have the name Les Miles, but like, I don't know why Troy's laughing, but okay. But anyway, I think I think the North Dakota State. I think that's exactly right. Kansas State, like they have a couple 6-6, 7-5 seasons. Like, be okay. This guy's done solid in FBS. Let's see what he can do with solid recruits because he was really good in the FCS because he was getting all the really good recruits for FCS. He obviously he lost some guys to FBS and Division I schools, but like I mean the guy was just destroying at North Dakota State. North Dakota State has been dominant forever. So I think that this Kansas State game is going to be interesting, but like they're probably going to finish season 6-6. OU's probably going to beat them. If they don't beat them, I would be legitimately surprised. I mean, maybe they don't have to kill them. They don't got to beat them by like 50. They just got to beat them by like 14.
I think they're going to cream them.
You're going to smash them?
Yeah. They lost Alex Barnes. They have this new coach. I think it's like nothing.
I didn't know you were such a Kansas State historian.
I just had a good friend that played there, so.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't no connection to Kansas State, so.
I know a dude that plays at Kansas State. About all I can say.
Well.
Anyway, so we'll go ahead and move on. They're playing Iowa State at Norman. Iowa State's one of those teams that scares me.
I don't think they scare me as much at Norman as they do.
Correct. Do they play at Ames? Or is Ames Iowa or is Ames Iowa State?
I have no idea.
Fact check is what needs to happen. So Iowa State went 8-5 last season. It's Ames?
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. I got something right.
For once.
Yeah, alright. So Iowa State went 8-5 last season. I think that they're a really solid program. They had a couple losses towards the end of the season. They had a chance to play for the Big 12 championship, assuming that a couple things went right. Obviously, those things went wrong. They lost a game. The two teams they needed to lose also won.
They're just a team that I always forget about.
Yeah, and they're so underrated and not talked about. Like, yeah, have they had bad seasons? Sure. But, like, every team has bad seasons except for, like, those top dogs, like Bama, OU, whatever.
I remember I went and sat in the rain in a cold game. It was Kansas City senior year, last year played OU. I was like, oh, we're going to watch Iowa State play. Oh, this will be interesting. Iowa State beat us 30-17 or something like that. I was like, oh, I'm glad I sat in the cold for this.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember watching that. It's like, man, we literally like.
And that was a year we had some pretty good players too, and that was a year that we just tanked, won like 8 games.
Was that Landry Jones here?
Yeah, that was Landry Jones' year.
Good old Landry.
XFL.
Okay. We don't need to talk about Landry Jones on this podcast.
Statistics do lie.
Yeah, they do. All-time passing leader at OU. But when you play there for 5 years, it kind of...
Didn't Baker beat a bunch of his records, though?
Baker beat a bunch of his records, but I still don't think Baker broke his passing record because Baker didn't play there the same number of years. Because Landry literally played 4 complete years there. Well, his freshman year was kind of weird because of Sam Bradford being hurt, and he played like most of the season. Landry did, but
Looked in what too. Yeah, OU career passing records. Baker Mayfield has 12,292 yards, and Landry Jones has 16,646.
that's hilarious.
Oh my gosh, he has 52 interceptions. Baker has 21.
Baker's 21, and he played there. Yeah, it's terrible.
But the thing is Baker threw 1,157 passes when he was at OU, and Landry Jones threw 2,183. But you also got to think about it, was when Baker was there.
He had good running backs, so he wasn't throwing the ball quite as much.
When Landry was there, they had some good running backs, but they kept getting freaking hurt. Remember that one dude? It was number 8, and he came from like a small school, walked on at OU, and they're like, oh, well, you'll be like our 5th string guy, and he like broke out one game, and they're like, oh, we'll start playing you. Started playing him. I think they gave him a scholarship. Next year, he broke his leg. like who's done.
That's a deep cut. I don't know who that is.
Oh man, that dude was good. And I was like, we finally got a running back. Broken leg. No.
That's what I thought about Rodney Anderson last year. Oh, I'm so upset he got hurt.
Anderson.
Like right before the season, it was like, no. This guy literally fought back from so many injuries, and he had an awesome season last year. Like, what was it, like a week or two before the season?
Yeah.
Out for the season. I was like, no!
Yep.
Come on!
Same thing kind of happened this year with Trey Norwood.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and I saw that, and I saw he tore his ACL. Or wait.
Yeah, he hurt his ankle, and then I think it's official that he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Now.
And I was like,
It is.
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, no, he's not out for the season. And I kept reading all these articles. I'm like, yeah, he's out for the season.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
out.
dang it.
Yeah.
Which, he was on my big impact players, and he would be if he were on the team,
Right.
if he were able to play.
Yep.
So, anyway, so I have OU. I still think they're going to beat Iowa State. Right now I have OU going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have them going 9-0 to start the season, so it's like, it's kind of rough. But I got to beat Iowa State. It's a good thing it's in Norman. I'm not as worried about it.
I think Iowa State's ranked 21?
Yeah, it's OU, Texas, and Iowa State. I think those are the only 3 teams in
Yep.
the top 25.
Yep.
Which I completely agree with Iowa State. Iowa State is a good team.
Mhm.
Yeah, they finished the season with 5 losses, but those were not easy. Those were not, just they 5 close games.
Mhm.
So, and then they play at Baylor. I don't even know what to think about Baylor. Literally since the whole Art Briles scandal thing happened, I have no idea what to think of Baylor because they have been so iffy. You almost lost to this crappy Baylor team. They didn't, but it was just like, really? And so now it's like, maybe Baylor's got some decent athletes, some decent players. I don't know what to think about.
I honestly think they just have good days sometimes.
Yeah, they have good weeks. Didn't they beat OSU last year?
Who?
Baylor.
Yeah, Baylor's just terrible college.
In my notes for this, I literally wrote Baylor.
Yeah,
So,
bleh.
meh.
Yeah.
I think that Baylor had a lot of good things going, but I don't think that they're going to be anything.
They finished 7-6. I could totally see them
Yeah.
finishing 7-6 again.
Mhm.
They're not gonna finish any better than that.
Yeah.
If they do, I'll be surprised. I think OU can beat them, assuming that they don't just have these floozy bad games. They do that. They're such a weird team because playing great, and then they lose to a Texas team. That's fine. It's Texas. It's your right. I mean, it's not fine, but if you're gonna lose, at least it's to a good team and not a terrible team, which they've lost to bad Texas teams in the past.
Well, and I really think, that just has to do with the fact that we've always had a stronger offense than a defense.
Well, and the thing is,
Oh, I figured him out. Dominic Whaley. You remember him?
you just spent the last how many minutes looking up this guy while
Yeah.
we were talking?
Dude he played 7 games, went for 627 yards one year. Comes out the next year, he's a starter, plays 6 games, breaks his leg.
Oh,
I'm
it took
so-
you so long to find that. I didn't even know what you were referencing
I am
anymore.
so glad that you figured out who that was. I'm so happy for you right now.
That was back in Trey Miller days.
Are you kidding me? So, I think OU...
In Blake Bell days.
Oh, the
my
Belldozer.
man.
The Belldozer.
The Belldozer.
Ugh.
That's my man right there.
Blake, if you're listening, Ashley wants a date.
Yeah.
You and Baker and Mark Andrews.
Yeah.
At least Baker's married, so that's kind of out.
Yeah. Mark Andrews is still out.
She knows that for a fact.
Is Blake married?
I
No.
don't know.
Blake, if you're listening, you're only in Kansas City.
Oh man. Okay, so
Ripkowski's there too.
who?
The Rip.
Oh,
Aaron
nice.
Ripkowski.
I just didn't
Yeah.
heir you.
I was gonna say you don't know who that is.
I
You-
do-
you
I-
walk out the door.
This is my apartment. I live here.
I have a great picture with both of them.
Oh my God.
I ate dinner with them. They're
Yes.
my dad works with
Her dad
Brock
knows
Bell.
everybody.
And so we're very close to the Bell family.
Okay,
So.
Blake, if you're listening, Family connection.
So you're gonna share this to Brock Bell, right?
Yeah. No, I'll send it to him.
Anyway, so we were talking about Baylor, and OU is one of those teams where I don't think their defense is very disciplined. They haven't been in years past.
Nope.
I think things are going to be different now that Mike Stoops is not calling the shots. I think that, OU will have an interesting season on defense because, they have a new defensive coordinator. Mike Stoops is finally gone. I know that Lincoln Riley definitely did Bob a favor by keeping him around. It's a great decision to get rid of him. If they can stay disciplined, I think that they can win games, not just by a touchdown. They can win games by several touchdowns. They can just stop people in the Big 12 from scoring. Seriously. There's a reason they had to put Mike Stoops in the box because he was losing his mind on the sideline so much to other players. It's crazy.
Yep. I agree. I'm excited and hopeful for a solid team.
Yeah, me too. And they
They
have,
did a decent defense.
but here's the
Yeah.
thing: they have great defensive players.
Right.
There's so many good players that are great. What?
You paused too many times. They have so many great players.
I had to read it.
Trey Norwood. Oh, except he's hurt.
Yeah, he's hurt. they have Neville Gallimore. They have Parnell Motley,
Kenneth Murray,
Kenneth Murray.
middle linebacker. Kenneth Murray.
Cougar.
That was great.
That was good. I was drawing a blank. Their names were just eluding me.
Right.
Uh,
We don't hear him too much.
That's true. It's not like defense is making highlight plays.
Oh, he missed a tackle. He missed a tackle. We don't even care about names. He missed a tackle.
So I think their defense could.
I think that what they had this last year is they have playmakers, but they just need to work on wrapping up and tackling.
That's the thing. So I don't know if it's so.
You always get little guys.
I don't think it's a matter of the coaches aren't motivating enough. I think the coaches aren't teaching them.
We're not recruiting.
That's true. That's true. We have a couple good defensive players, but nobody that's just staying out. But here's the thing,
Hey, Bookie's pretty good.
yeah, I know
He
he's
busted a lot of plays last year, but
I
he's
know
a
that.
true freshman.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you have these dudes that just ram into him like a bullet, but they don't if you see him run into a wide receiver and just slam into the guy, and the guy just runs, or even running back, because then they just bounce off of him. Wrap him up, grab his leg, do anything. Literally, pull his jersey. I don't care. Just get your arms around him. That's not around the face mask. The only time I see guys wrap around, I feel is when they hit their face mask, and it's why? Or pass.
Because they don't know how to play defense.
That's apparently not. Apparently. So
They're probably all offensive players that went to OU to play offense, and they're like, oh,
we got too many.
we got too many receivers. CeeDee Lamb's out here catching one-hand passes like that. Never mind, I'll go play defense.
Yeah, go play safety. Go play cornerback.
So the thing is if you really look at a lot of the safeties and corners in the NFL, you have obviously the Alabama, the LSU. You got guys like that. Those are defense schools. But a lot of those bigger safeties come out of random schools.
Yeah.
I don't know if OU's just not recruiting them because they're like, oh, he might be too big. He might be a mix between a linebacker and a safety. You know what? Look at Derwin James. Derwin James, I know I've talked about him a million times.
Oh,
look at Jamal Adams.
By the way, Derwin James, he plays for the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers. That's you love to talk about.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so-
all he talks about.
I know. All
Okay,
the time.
all right, it's fine. You know what? I'll talk about Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams is the safety for the Jets. Him and Derwin James have similar stats. They're both guys that could go probably beef up a little bit and play linebacker. They might be able to slim down a little bit and go play corner. They're kind of in that mid-range. I think OU needs to start looking into some guys like that. Go get a guy like Minka Fitzpatrick that just will change your entire defense. Go get get somebody get a Cam Chancellor. The dude was massive playing safety. We
Yep.
need somebody that's not 5'10", 180 pounds, running a 4.3. We need a guy that's 6'2", 220 that runs a 4.5 and is going to knock the ball out of some people's hands. Let's go!
Oh my gosh, he's so hyped. I'm so glad the season starts 3 days from now.
Yeah.
So, it's weird that it's on a Sunday, but I'm kind of glad because it's gonna be prime time.
Oh yeah.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
So next game we're moving on TCU is at Norman. I don't know how to feel about TCU either. I feel like half these Big 12 teams are so weird. Because they could win these games, and some of them I wouldn't be surprised, and others I would be, but like it's like they're not a bad team. They beat up, everyone beats each other up.
TCU scares me the most out of like Baylor, Texas Tech, that type of situation right there, the middle teams that I've got. I think they have a QB transfer, Alex Delton. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but so I think it'll be interesting for sure. I think TCU, to me, it's very similar to playing OSU with just the tension in that. So I think it'll be a good game.
And I think, and unlike a lot of the other Big 12 schools, I think Gary Patterson, I think he really focuses on defense compared to a lot. Because, like, I don't know if they have the best defense in the Big 12, but their defense is usually pretty solid. I know TCU.
TCU's got a good defense.
Yeah. Dude, what are you doing?
What? You guys have conversations.
Well, why don't you be involved in the conversation?
I'm the entertainment. I gotta be the number one. I was kidding. So, TCU is like, I mean, Gabe's gonna roll his eyes, and I mean you're not gonna see that, but you're gonna hear his just like frustration come from rolling his eyes. TCU is really dear to my heart because with Damian Tomlinson. So I always root for TCU.
In case you don't know, he also played for the Chargers.
No, he didn't just play for the Chargers. He dominated for the Chargers.
Yes.
But okay, so he was.
By the way, if you want to learn more about Damian Tomlinson, check out our episode 2 weeks ago. He's ranked number 1.
Well, just throw it out there. He's on the rankings.
By the way, if you want to learn anything more about the Chargers, why listen to any episode?
I mean, if the Chargers offered me a job to come talk about the Chargers, I'd be like, I'm down. I know every player. Let's go.
He really does. We were playing Madden. He was playing against the Chargers. He's like, man.
Playing with the Chargers. You said against the Chargers.
I'm sorry. I was playing against the Chargers, which he destroyed me. Do not mention how bad the destruction was. Let's just say it was more than 4 touchdowns.
I'm pretty sure I beat him like 77-20.
Oh my
It was just okay. But here's the thing: all his Chargers guys were just killing me. Like
Because I know the ins and outs of every player.
I had how many? I have 4 fumbles because you're like, this guy's gonna kill you, and guess what he did? Fumbled, picked up the ball, ran it back for a touchdown. It was ridiculous.
It's when we played the week before, and he played with the Browns, and I played with the Cardinals because we wanted to play Baker versus Kyler. Obviously, the Browns have a full offensive team and full defensive team.
I almost beat him.
I beat him by like a touchdown.
And here's the thing. Kyler Murray was so tired because he got hit so much in that game that when I caused him to fumble the ball, Kyler was chasing my Browns player, who's not very fast, and Kyler was running so slow that I literally stopped and let Kyler catch me and tackle me because I didn't think it's fair. And then I threw an interception. If I hadn't, I would have scored and I would have won the game. But
there was enough time left. I would have probably came back. And
probably.
But the moral of it is like I was playing with like a 70 overall team while he was playing with like an 80 overall team, and he was pretty close. It was a pretty good game. So he started talking some smack, and I said, "All right, I'll play with the Chargers and I'll beat you by 20." He goes, "Oh, I bet you beat me by more." Just like being stupid, beat him by like 60. But
mostly because I threw 5 picks.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. But what I was saying is TCU is just a team that like. I'm not gonna say I root for them over like OU or OSU anything like that, but like
I like TCU. I'll never root against TCU as long as they're not playing OU or OSU.
Yeah, so like I've always just been halfway TCU fan, and I think that they're a pretty good team, and they'll be decent.
Their defense is always good. I think Gary, like I said, Gary Patterson just values that more.
Yeah.
So, they're always an interesting team. Like they had, what's the name of the quarterback?
Boykin?
No, Boykin was
Kenny Hill.
But yes, Kenny Hill. Yeah, because I was gonna say he played for Texas A&M and then he transferred.
Yeah, because he was the guy right after Johnny football.
Right after Johnny Manziel. Yeah.
And he first game threw like 350 yards and ran for like 100 and ran for a touchdown. Did a little Johnny Manziel like play, and they're like, "Oh, we got a new Johnny," and then. A couple weeks later, Texas A&M did what Texas A&M does.
Holy cow! I'm sorry. Breaking news: Clemson
Yeah.
played Georgia Tech tonight. I think Georgia Tech's not a terrible team. Clemson beat them 52-14.
Yep.
11th straight 20-point win. That includes the national championship game. Man, Trevor Lawrence, he threw 2 interceptions though. Huh. 205 rushing yards. Holy cow! Yeah, Clemson demolished.
Yeah, so there's only 2 good things that Georgia Tech's done in the last 20 years. I mean, one of them's Calvin Johnson.
Okay, agreed.
Also on our top 5.
Also on our top 5 rankings, 4 wide receivers.
And Melvin Ingram, who's the defensive end for the Chargers.
I knew it. I was like, I couldn't remember exactly what he was gonna say.
As soon as I saw his face, I knew.
I was like looking at the game. I was like, yeah. It's like let's just keep like I mean we got a couple.
I wish the team that I supported was good enough to where I could be like, yeah, you know, Ole Miss, Eli Manning, yeah.
yeah, go Daniel Jones, Duke.
Oh my gosh. Oh goodness. Okay. So, I think OU will probably beat TCU, but you know, TCU was like OU's loss. That wouldn't surprise me. You know, like they're not a bad team. They have good athletes. They recruit out of the state of Texas. Obviously, Texas University and OU and even OSU. Obviously, they take a lot of their recruits.
I am so sorry. I messed up. Melvin Ingram.
I don't care about Melvin Ingram.
Melvin Ingram played for the University of South Carolina. I don't know who I'm thinking of.
Cool.
I'm very upset with myself.
You know, maybe we should just veto all Chargers talk, and then you don't have to worry about messing up.
All right. Whoever's listening to us that was like, I'm a Chargers guy, and I'm gonna hire you, and he's like, oh, he just messed up Melvin Ingram. Never mind.
Just lost your
You
job.
just lost it, man.
Yeah. Take on for life.
Oh my god.
I love my job.
Okay. Now, last game of the season at Stillwater against OSU, who went 7-6.
Who's OSU's quarterback this year?
We don't know yet.
Yeah,
That's the thing. They
Whoever's
have,
gonna be, it's gonna be better than corn
if you
dog or
listen,
whatever
well,
his name is.
apparently,
Corn
you know
dog,
what,
yeah.
you know, Troy, I don't think you listened to the episode from last week. Just because you weren't on it doesn't mean you can't listen.
I'm the entertainment. I don't listen.
We talked about it in depth between the 2 OSU quarterbacks.
All right. Who you got?
I think the guy who transferred from Hawaii will get it. He didn't transfer from Hawaii to be a backup.
Yeah, but Hawaii.
He was good in Hawaii.
Who does Hawaii play? Did they beat Boise State last year?
Probably not.
Exactly.
But, okay, here's the thing.
Who's the other guy?
They probably play... he's a 4-star recruit out of... What state was it? I don't remember.
Probably Kansas.
Okay. It was, let's see if I wrote it down. He's a red. He redshirted last. Spencer Sanders is a redshirt. He's a 4-star recruit, but I didn't write down where he was from. But the other guy is Drew Brown. So both of the names eluding me. I'm glad I wrote it down for last week's episode. So I don't know who the starter is going to be.
Denton, Texas.
Okay, that's not surprising. So I have a feeling that Drew Brown is going to be starting quarterback. Like I said, you don't transfer from Hawaii and not get the starting job. I just think Mike Gundy, he's just not revealing the depth chart. You know, a lot of people are mad that tons of teams are not revealing their depth chart. Like Dana Holgorsen, he was frustrated with Lincoln Riley because Lincoln Riley is not revealing the depth chart, you know, other than like Jalen Hurts and a couple other key players, Creed Humphrey. But it's like...
All these articles are saying that the Spencer kid's going to win.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I read articles when looking for last week's episode. I read an article that said Drew Brown, and then I read an article that was 4 days later it said Spencer, and then, you know, after that Drew. Like I've seen so many the same news place go back and forth, and then I've seen just overall like they thought it was Drew Brown, and then they thought it was Spencer, and they thought so it's kind of.
Oh, he's a graduate transfer.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he's gonna keep it.
Yeah. He's a. I'm sorry if I didn't clarify that. He didn't transfer from Hawaii because he couldn't play in Hawaii.
So he was a starter over there, and then he's like,
Yes.
You know what? Go Cowboys.
Yeah, Oklahoma was where he wanted to be. I
Yeah,
guess.
he didn't want to.
I mean, look at Tua. I mean, he went from all the way to Alabama,
Yeah, but
and then you got the
kid that blew out his knee. What's his
So
name?
a lot of people that blow out their knees.
Yeah, well, the kid from South Florida.
Yep.
No, not South Florida.
No,
Central
Central
Florida.
Oh
Gosh,
gosh.
that was horrible.
Man, it was horrible. They actually could have won their game, man.
Mackenzie Milton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Ooh, that was so
That's
bad.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was good.
He's super good. That's
That whole thing was so sad.
Yeah. I think he was a junior, so if he could
I
redshirt.
don't think he's playing.
He could no, he's not playing this year, but he could redshirt and maybe
Maybe
make
could
it.
maybe red shirt. That's tough. That's tough.
I'll look it up.
So, this is Bedlam game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, OSU, their offense is so awesome. Typically,
Chuba Hubbard.
yeah, they got a new offensive coordinator, that guy from Princeton, which apparently they're not going to do any of the cool fancy stuff he did at Princeton. So it's like, what's the point of bringing him in? But whatever. Their offense is going to be a little different. Hopefully their defense will be a little better. I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, last season was a shootout. This is another high scoring game.
Oh, he got hurt against South Florida. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, he
Oh,
played
okay.
for Central Florida. Yeah. Why? Can you just be involved in the conversation?
I'm listening to it.
Oh my god. So yeah, OSU was a shootout. OSU almost won that game. I don't blame them one bit for going for two. You can't. You're playing the University of Oklahoma and you got a chance to beat them. I commend them on the just bold move to go for two and try to win the game.
I commend them on trying and then failing. Felt good for me.
You were at that game, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
My sister was there too, and she knew she was going to go to OSU, so it felt even better.
Okay, so it's in Stillwater?
It's
Yeah.
in Stillwater. That's
Which
yeah.
I don't know if I believe the whole Stillwater.
Because here's the thing, here's the thing, it's not like it's that far though. Like Stillwater normally.
It's the atmosphere.
I know it is. I know it is.
It's
But
the
the
No, the paddle people, that's their thing, yeah.
oh my gosh.
I'm saying the weaving the wheat.
Waving weed?
Yeah, they do the waving wheat.
Yeah, but no, the paddle
Oh my
people
gosh,
are the scariest
so-
part.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Cause literally like.
You know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I've been,
Yeah,
I've been to both.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the problem. It's like literally after every play, it's like, oh, play's resuming,
Every time.
or play's ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been
Oh
to a
my
couple
gosh.
OSU games. The last one, they did that for a little bit, but then they stopped because Kansas State was the one that was making it.
My arm would literally fall off at the end of that game for how much they do it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, have you
That's
seen the guy's arms on that? They're about the size of your torso.
Yeah, I know. That's probably a phenomenal workout doing that all game, and after halftime, just go to the left arm, back again on the stupid pad. It's so annoying. I can't do it.
I hate it. Absolutely hate it.
Like,
They quit hitting the couch.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Alright, so I think that the Sanders kid, just kind of like looking at, I think it's Sanders kid from Hawaii. I bet
No. Drew Brown is from Hawaii. Spencer Sanders is a
Drew
four-star
Brown.
recruit.
Drew Brown, I bet will get the starting spot just because he's got more experience. He's older. This is last year.
Yeah.
I think that the other kid, depending on how he does, he might come in and take the job. But I think the older one will get the nod, kind of like Corn Dog did last year.
Yeah, Cornelius. He's a undrafted signee by the Packers. Man, I wish Connor and I had more time last week. Apparently there was a very interesting story, and he said I could have gone a whole another hour just talking about Cornelius. So anyway.
Interesting.
He's an ugly dude.
So I have OU going 12-0.
Wow.
Wow.
Nah.
Wow.
I have OU losing to Texas.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Are they going to go 12-0? No, they're not.
No.
But the thing is, I just didn't give them a loss. I couldn't do it. Even though I gave OSU 5 losses last week. Yeah.
Okay.
One of them being to OU.
Where would you change it? Realistically.
If you think they're gonna win or they're gonna lose one game, which one would you think they're gonna lose?
See, that's tough.
Besides Texas.
So if not Texas, I would probably say Iowa State. Iowa State is the second most threatening team in Big 12, in my opinion. And you know what? It could be what? What are you looking at?
Keep going.
I was gonna say there's an off chance that they could stroke against Houston and choke, but
I don't think that's.
I think if they lose, it will be in conference.
I think that they lost to Houston a couple years ago in that first game. I think that they're gonna hype themselves up enough. They're not gonna be like, all right, we can't just go out and just roll through week one. We gotta blow through week one. Mm-hmm. And I think that they're gonna win a lot of games. I can see them losing to Iowa State, but I think they're gonna go undefeated until Ohio State or Oklahoma State, and then Oklahoma State might show them a little something.
Maybe, but
If they're undefeated, this is what's gonna happen. If they're undefeated,
they're losing to OSU.
Yeah.
In the last game of the season.
If they lose a game throughout the year, they'll beat OSU.
I think opposite. I think if we don't, I don't know. Even if we do or we don't lose to Texas, I think we're probably going to lose against TCU, which is the game right before OSU. Then we're going to sweep OSU.
Yeah.
I just have this weird feeling we're just going to just choke up a little bit and lose to TCU. I don't know why, but I do.
I think Jalen Hurts is gonna beat Tua out for the Heisman. That's what I really think.
Dude, how much of a like
Just smack in the
middle
face.
finger, seriously, you know what? He and Tua, he was supporting Tua all year, which I honestly think he is a true class act because he understood getting benched in the national championship game for a guy who is, as we can see, better than him. That's just that, and he's supporting the whole game, and then Tua goes out.
He said, "I'm not going to leave. I'm not transferring."
Yeah, and he goes through this season, and he's like, you know what? This guy's awesome. Every touchdown he scored, he'd be the first guy to talk to Tua and support Tua. That was awesome. And you know what? Tua got a little banged up in the SEC championship game against Georgia. Jalen came out there looking like a stud. And you know what? That's why he stayed on the team. He's like, because they still might need me. You realize that they had probably the second best quarterback in the country on their team behind Kyler, is what I'm saying.
Oh, are you saying Tua?
I'm talking about Alabama. I'm sorry. Alabama had the second best quarterback on their team, and then they probably had a guy who was in the top 20 as their backup. That's amazing. It's phenomenal.
Well, that's how Kyler Murray kind of felt.
Yeah, exactly. Because on that first drive that Baker got suspended for after that Kansas game, what did Kyler do? Touchdown.
66-yard run.
Yeah.
I remember I got that notification. Kyler Murray, 66-yard run in place of Baker Mayfield. We'll be fine next year.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and so that's the thing. It's I think Jalen's awesome, but how amazing would it be just in the OU's offense, just the high-powered, high-octane, speed offense, just beating out Tua? That would just be so funny.
It would be
him
the
sitting
best
next
thing.
Tua having to sit there 2 years in a row and losing to an OU quarterback.
No, watching Nick Saban's face would be even better.
Yes. Oh, all day. By the way, I don't know if you know this. My dad was born in Alabama.
Oh, I didn't
Huge
know.
Alabama fan.
I have a ton of family in Alabama.
He's a huge Alabama fan.
Wow.
I don't have a problem with Alabama for the most part. I understand they get a lot of annoying press. Nick Saban gets a little more airtime than he probably should. It's fine. It's whatever. But my dad, when they played OU, he will always refer OU. But he wasn't overly upset because his second favorite team won, and then they got killed by Clemson. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say quite the same, but so when my grandpa was young, he was born and raised in Alabama, and I have a ton of family down there that I've never met. But he joined the military during World War II, and that's when he went to San Diego and ended up meeting my grandma, and they stayed out there for a long time. But yeah,
that's why he's a Chargers fan.
Yeah, my dad was born and raised in San Diego.
Oh, cool.
So I have a ton of family in Alabama, and I bet they are just the biggest Alabama fans. But I don't know.
They could be Auburn fans.
I bet not.
I don't know, man.
Could be.
I bet they're Alabama fans.
Anyway, man.
But you know what's even funnier about this whole thing is there's a huge Red Hawk, the cemetery, there's a bridge, there's all kinds of stuff in Troy, Alabama. There's no connection there. I was named after Troy Aikman.
I know you were named after Troy Aikman.
Yeah. 90s Cowboys were.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Were you? Oh, I guess that wasn't you. That was. Who was that we were talking to?
Christian.
Yeah, we were talking to Christian. Okay. Well, okay. So before we end the episode, prediction. We're on the record. What's your prediction?
On OU's record,
Yes.
but they lose one game.
Okay. 11-1. Ashley.
Oh. I'm gonna say 10-2.
10-2. I have them technically on my paper 12-0, but I think they're gonna go 11-1. So.
I mean, if they went undefeated, I would be like, all right, I was wrong.
Yeah,
Cool.
I would be more
Yeah,
than happy.
I'd be like,
with that.
woo!
Yeah.
But you know what that means? If they go undefeated, that just means.
I say.
Whoever they're going to end up playing in the Big 12 championship, if they lose to them like that last year, they lost to Texas, ended up playing in the Big 12 championship. This
Yeah.
year, if they go undefeated, whoever they play in the Big 12 championship, they've already played and they beat. That team's going to have a chip on their shoulder like, oh, you did last
I
year.
know, and it's hard to beat it. It's hard to beat a team twice in
Yeah.
the same season.
Yeah, and especially if you're playing Texas,
Yeah.
which is who they're going to be playing.
Yeah, and like a couple years ago, like they played TCU, and then they had to play them again 2 weeks later. It was kind of like, is TCU gonna do it? And then we killed them.
No, I mean, it was just like we were talking the other day about the NFL where the team, it was Adrian Peterson with the Vikings. He needed 8 more yards, and they're beating them. And then next week they lost.
You're beating the Packers, and then you're gonna lose to them next week. It doesn't matter. Just give them 8 more yards, or it was 9. It was 9 more yards.
Yeah.
We determined it was 9.
Yeah, we thought it was 8.
Yeah, did that just go over your head?
Yeah. I just.
It's alright. It's
You
only
know
5-1.
me and the NFL.
All right, well, we appreciate you guys listening. Definitely like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Please leave us any comments or any feedback you have. And if you have any questions or any feedback you want to give me, you can shoot me an email at saotpodcast@gmail.com. So, but like I said, check us out. And Ashley, we appreciate having you on. Sorry you didn't.
Any last words?
Yeah.
Like and comment if you want me to come back.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely have Ashley as a repeat guest. We plan on having some other guests in the future. We know when OU basketball season comes up, we will have another guest to come on and talk about that. But other than that,
Horns down.
yeah,
Yep.
horns
Boomer,
down,
baby.
Boomer, big game coming up, and we'll to start next week's episode, we'll probably talk about the OU game. Just break it down a little bit.
Oh, probably. It's gonna happen.
It's
Yeah,
gonna happen.
1000%.
Alrighty, well, other than that, you guys have a good one.